The first trading week of 2026 is over, and let's just say it didn't go as I had hoped. I want to try my best to do weekly reviews and go over some of my best and worst trades for the week to kind of help me reiterate what is working and what is not working and what I can improve on. All right, so let me go to this month. And currently sitting down $63 on the month. I took 7 trades this month, and unfortunately only 2 of them were winners. One of them hitting TP, the other one kind of getting out just above break even. So not great there, not doing great on my win rate. My average win-loss, however, is good. I've taken 4 L's in a row, 2 yesterday, 2 today. I am happy to report though, out of all 7 trades, only 1 trade I feel like I should not have taken. So that's decent. Today I got freaking bamboozled, but hey, I just need to use that to learn, and yeah, we'll see. So as you can see, I have 3 red days, 1 green day. Luckily, my green day outweighs my red days. So going into the first trade, all right, so I took a short here, and it was a 1 minute, 2 minute, 5 minute break and retest and a fair value gap. However, there was a potential reversal area close by. I don't know what that was. Maybe it was pre-market, but the setup was there. That's on the 1 minute. There it is on the 2 minute, kind of flagging into it a little bit. And on the 5 minute. And the move actually did end up going down. I just didn't have the right entry on there. I would take that trade again and again. I don't think it was a bad trade. However, something that I think I need to work on, which kind of lines up with today's issue, is my stops. I don't like to have like super wide stops. I know some people trade with super wide stops, but I feel like if my stops have to be super wide, it just means that my entry is not good enough. So I usually do like 1 to 2 bar stops depending on like what is in the area, but maybe I could consider like doing a slightly more out of the money contract where the delta isn't as high. Right now I've been like around the 50 delta is what I've been aiming for. Maybe I could try a little bit lower, so that way I can have a little bit more leeway on the stop out. Don't love that idea, but it's something that I could potentially consider. So yeah, this trade was fine. I think I'm pretty sure. So I lost $20 on that trade. So the next trade, I re-entered the exact same trade. I only got $10 because I stopped myself out of the trade, I guess. I shifted my stop too soon. Or not shifted it too soon, but I kind of choked it out a little bit. This trade was the exact same thing. The 1 minute, 2 minute, 5 minute break and retest, fair value gap with an inverted fair value gap, still with a potential reversal area nearby. Here's that 1 minute inverse right here. And then we had this big 2 minute, and this is something that I realize a lot. If I happen to get stopped out of a move and then it immediately like inverses, I will usually re-enter it if everything else still is the same, because I feel like I'm the liquidity for that move to go lower. So that's why I re-entered this, and it happens more often than not. And then the 5 minute was still on the rejection right here. So that was all good. When it came to getting stopped out, I probably just shifted via the 2 minute. Yeah, here. I probably put my stop here and then probably just went in profit a little bit, which is fine. I mean, it did go up. I probably would have gotten stopped out had I not done that. So it's okay. This was already past my trading time. So I called it a day after that and just ended $10 in the red. Going on to the next day. This was the only day I caught a good trade, and it was literally like 10 minutes into open. And this right here is my A+ setup, which I am trying more and more to take every time it shows up, regardless of what's in the way of it, because I talk myself out of it if there's something near that could possibly reverse, when I just need to take the setup and like let the probability happen. So it is the 1 minute, 2 minute, 5 minute break and retest. And this happened literally at 9:44 in the morning. It was also a 200 moving average bounce and a fair value gap. This is like A++ setup for me. The only thing I did bad was I had an early exit. So right here, beautiful little friggin' little flag, break and retest on the 1 minute, and it also the gap was on I don't know what the gap was on. Break and retest on the 2 minute and break and retest on the 5 minute off of the 200 in this gap. I just have to take those. I have to take them. Beautiful little trade. How long was I in this? Less than 6 minutes, or about 6 minutes. 6 minutes, $60. Not bad. I did hang around for the rest of the day, but unfortunately I missed this setup right here. I was waiting for it. Kind of bummed that I missed it, but it is what it is. The thing is that this happens again and again. I just need to take it when it's there, which I'm working on. I did not trade Wednesday. Thursday, this is the day where I took a trade that I should not have taken. We were chopping. Where the heck are we here? So I took a long, which the long was a good long. The problem was that we were in chop central. So for this long, I ended up losing $23. And it was a 2 minute, 5 minute break and retest, a fair value gap, break and retest of the weekly high, an inverted gap, and a 200 meter moving average bounce, and I still got freaking stopped out. So this was on the 1 minute. Inverse this, we tapped into this gap over here, bouncing off the 200. It is in the wrong position on the one. On the 2 minute, same thing, tapped into this gap, bounced up to 200. Green took out red, just wasn't enough to push past these highs over here that we're holding. And then on the 5 minute, look at this wick up on the 5 minute. Like, I feel like that was a good trade. I don't think that I shouldn't have taken that trade. So I'm good with it all day. It is what it is. Managed risk, $23. It ended up chopping around for like another hour and a half before finally making the move higher. That was where I was targeting. I just wasn't a part of it, unfortunately. This trade right here is the trade that I should not have taken. It was an impulsive trade. And I recognized that the market was ranging, and I was once again trying to get cute and catch the range trade. I don't do that. That's not what my strategy does. My strategy is a momentum strategy, catch the trend strategy, continuation strategy. It is not a reversal and range strategy. So I just shouldn't have even taken this. I don't know what's happening with this and why it's freezing, but yeah, so this is, I mean, the idea was still there, right? The 5 minute was up, it got wicked, it ended up getting wicked down, but it was still there, good, moving with the 5 minute. And the 2 minute is where here we start going wrong. It was trending down. Yes, the green went to take it out, but it was trending down. It was not trending up like these were over here. So I'm always trying to make it a point to go with the trend of the 5 minute, 2 minute. 1 minute sometimes, depending if it's like a continuation already or if it's just starting, because that one could be tricky with like an inverse. I am trying to also make it a point to enter trades with at least 2 of the time frames aligning. So this is 2 time frames in the opposite direction that I was looking for. Anyway, we did have the inverse here. So, I mean, it could have been worse. It was choppy. I knew it was choppy. It was ranging. I knew it was ranging. Basically, it's not that the trade was like horrendous. It's fine. Look, it actually did end up going higher. It's just that it was impulsive. I could have waited. I could have waited for something better to set up. I could have avoided a $30 loss. So I still would have been negative on the week, but $30 less negative on the week. The good thing I did do is after that, I recognized that I was going to continue to try to catch something in the range, and I decided to just call it a day. Moving on to today, got freaking bamboozled with my stops. Literally had the perfect trade right here, and I just had my stops too tight twice. The 5 minute was trending up. It was solid. All I had to do was have a wider stop. If I want to try to keep my losses around $30, I just need to trade more out of the money options. You know, I'm trading like at the money or just slightly out of the money, which I have gone down because I was doing 60-ish delta before, but then I was having to risk up to like $50. So I dialed that back to have a little bit more like leeway on my stops. And yeah, this would have been a perfect little trade. But unfortunately, we got stopped out. And then the next trade is the exact Literally the exact same thing. I got in and then it did one more swipey swipe. And then towards the end of the day, I was waiting for it to come back and tap into this 15-minute gap right here. I knew the trade. I was waiting on it and waiting on it and waiting on it. When it did this, it started setting up looking like it was going to short because that was the all-time high level. So I ended up like psyching myself out of it and saying, no, it's just gonna pop up and then it's gonna reject. Well, it didn't. It popped up and it went like my original trade idea anticipated. And yeah, so I missed out on that too. And then by that time I was just like, forget it. I'm annoyed. My trading window is closed. I'm just gonna call it a day. $63 down on the week is not like horrendous. That's one trade, will make that back. So let me not make it worse and then kind of spiral and yeah, just ruin my whole month. The month is not ruined. It's the beginning of the month. It's, you know, I managed risk properly. There was only one trade that I should have avoided on the week, which again, we want to work on getting that to 0 trades. So that's the first week, 3 full weeks left to go. Plenty of time. Just going to stay locked in. I will be back on Monday to get back at it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks so much for watching and we'll see you in the next one. Later.